Hello and welcome to HW News English. Welcome to Newsroom Charcha, our weekly podcast show where we get all the members from our HW Newsroom one by one to discuss some of the trending topics of this week. I am Shubham Chohan and this week I am joined by our managing editor Sujit Nair. Hello Sujit.
Hi.
We have Shashank Nair joining us from Hindi. Hello Shashank.
Hi Shubham.
We have Jash Hirani who made his podcast debut last week amidst great fanfare. Hello Jash.
Hello Shubham.
And this week we have Akanksha Yadav joining us. Hello Akanksha.
Hello Shubham.
Akanksha, you must have seen she's anchoring for HW News English and she's also started anchoring for the Hindi channel. So you can catch all her videos there. So we have 5 of us this week and I'm of course Shubham Chohan. And okay, so where do we start? Where we'll start with, I think the biggest takeaway from this week politically was Rahul Gandhi's speech in the Lok Sabha, the Chakravyuh that he talked about, ED, IT, CBI. Who would want to go first? Pretty interesting speech, pretty fiery. I mean, you could see that Rahul Gandhi, the opposition, right behind him, going all guns blazing, and you could see the NDA government almost being put on the back foot. So who would want to go first? What do they think of their speech? Sujit, you want to start?
No.
No, you don't. Okay, I think Shashank will
You
start.
can't dare ask anybody other than Shashank. I mean, that is not accepted.
Works.
It's not acceptable.
Works. So I think Shashank, you can start on what do you think of the speech? What impact did it have?
सुजीत जी
सुजीत जी
मैंने किधर कुछ
नहीं ये शुभम जी के जगह सुजीत जी आ गए. हाँ.
सॉरी. हाँ, तो न्यूज रूम मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा कि वो नॉट जस्ट वो भाषण, अब जो भी कैसे सबको संबोधन एक साथ करना था तो हाँ, तो अभी राहुल गांधी जिस सिचुएशन में है वो एकदम अपने हाई पे है, तो वो पूरी तरीके से जो भी भाषण वो कर रहे हैं, जिस तरीके से वो बोल रहे हैं, वो एग्रेशन और जो भी वो अब पूरी तैयारी के साथ संसद में बोल रहे हैं. और उस भाषण के बाद डेफिनेटली कहीं ना कहीं जहां उनको वो असर दिखाना था वो असर हुआ है, क्योंकि उसके सब्सिक्वेंट एक ट्वीट भी आया है जिसमें वो कह रहे हैं कि चक्रव्यूह वाले जो भाषण में जिसमें सेंट्रल एजेंसी को उन्होंने चक्रव्यूह का भाग बोला है, तो अब वो कह रहे हैं कि एक रेड की तैयारी जो हो रही है और उसमें भी उन्होंने बहुत स्पोर्टिंगली उसको लिया. उन्होंने कहा है कि मैं चाय बिस्किट तैयार रखूंगा. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो चक्रव्यूह वाली बात अगर उनके ट्वीट सही हो जाता है तो फिर वो प्रैक्टिकलिटी में भी हम देख पा रहे हैं.
Yeah, but I think it's Jash, I would want you to come in here. Like he said, he's taken it sportingly. मैं चाय बिस्किट रेडी रखूंगा. It's almost become like a given script. कि it's so predictable. We have been seeing this for months now. Opposition leaders, one by one, put behind bars. Some manage to come out, some don't. Some are still languishing, like Mr. Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia. The fact that the usage of agencies has become so obvious, the misuse rather has become so obvious that what he actually said in Parliament about the Chakravyuh, that this is something that you get trapped into, is not too far from the reality, I guess. What do you think, Jash?
तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर अभी इसका बहुत अच्छा काउंटर आ सकता है, ये मैं बोलने के पहले ही बोल रहा हूँ, लेकिन अगर पी चिदम्बरम के जेब में अगर 303 होती, अगर यूपीए के टाइम कांग्रेस अगर 300 प्लस फुल मेजॉरिटी में होती, तो एजेंसी जो चिदम्बरम ने थोड़ा यूज किया था वो शायद अभी जो अमित शाह यूज कर रहा है उतना वो हो जाता. ये मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. ये एक आप कह सकते हो कि मैं जस्टिफाई कर रहा हूँ कि बीजेपी एजेंसी यूज करती है और गलत तरीके से करती है, पर वो हर गवर्नमेंट ने यूज किया हुआ है ऑलरेडी.
इस गवर्नमेंट ने ज्यादा नहीं यूज किया.
इस गवर्नमेंट ने किया है और ऑब्वियसली किया है, लेकिन ये इट इज नथिंग न्यू कि 2014 के बाद ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ नई चीज हो रही है. ये हो चुकी है, ये चीज छोटे इस पे हुई है, लेकिन ये और बड़े स्केल पे बीजेपी ने किया हुआ है. ये अच्छी बात है, ये मैं नहीं बोलूंगा कि ये अच्छी बात है, ये बहुत गलत बात है. ये इंस्टीट्यूशन पे कहते हैं कि एक आप अटैक कर रहे हो, ये मैं अब ये भी कहता हूँ, इट इज नथिंग न्यू. और जहां तक राहुल गांधी की बात है, आप राहुल गांधी के स्पीच के बारे में बोल रहे हो, आपको एक अनुराग ठाकुर ने भी उसके काउंटर में एक स्पीच दी थी, जहाँ पे अनुराग ठाकुर ने कहा था कि जिसको अपनी जाति का पता नहीं है वो गन्ने की बात करता है.
करेक्ट, वो जब कास्ट सेंसस का था द होल कन्वर्सेशन वेंट टू कास्ट
वहां पे मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि जो बीजेपी का जो सॉफ्ट नर्व है वो कास्ट सेंसस है और राहुल गांधी उसी पे अटैक कर रहा है, क्योंकि वो इतना स्पाइक कर रहा है। अनुराग ठाकुर ने तो किया ही, वैष्णव ने भी, वो भी स्पाइक हो रहा है, हर एक बीजेपी का लीडर स्पाइक हो रहा है कास्ट सेंसस के ऊपर। जब सीतारमन को बोला था कि हलवा ओबीसी में या जिस
करेक्ट, वो फोटो ही शोड दैट फोटोग्राफ सेइंग दैट आइडेंटिफाई,
कास्ट सेंसस के ऊपर ही स्पाइक हुई और ऐसा फेज उसने अपना कवर किया। तो वो एक बहुत हाईलाइटिंग एलिमेंट है राहुल गांधी का। अगर ये पूरा स्पीच देखेंगे कि कास्ट सेंसस पे सबसे ज्यादा एम्फेसिस, सबसे ज्यादा जो बीजेपी को हिट कर रहा है वो है कास्ट सेंसस के ऊपर। तो वो राहुल गांधी घड़ी घड़ी वो दबाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, अनुराग ठाकुर पे दबाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, मोदी पे।
so he's spiking and वो हो रहा है।
ये मुझे लग रहा है कि ये बहुत हाईलाइटिंग एलिमेंट है राहुल गांधी के।
राहुल गांधी ने तो पार्लियामेंट में ये भी बोल दिया था ना कि यू कैन अब्यूज मी एज मच एज यू वांट, बट मैं कास्ट सेंसस करके ही रहूंगा।
Caste census, I think, to the first point, before Sujit, I bring you in, the first point that just talked about, its data is now, showing that the misuse of agencies, particularly under this regime, has been, it's seen a phenomenal rise, more than 90%, if I'm not mistaken, of the cases that are registered by these central agencies are directed towards opposition leaders. Now, this is not to say, you're right, that partially I agree to that fact that if any government would have had that kind of majority, they would have misused. But that's again ifs and buts. The fact is, this
तो है ही, वो कांग्रेस करे या बीजेपी करे, है तो गलत।
Correct.
But इतना evidently, इतना
So-
evidently जैसे कर रही है बीजेपी,
नॉन एविडेंटली भी गलत है वो तो।
Correct, absolutely. So, caste census, in fact, for our viewers, listeners who are listening to us right now, we've on our channel, we've put out that video where Rahul Gandhi is making his speech and what just talked about, and you could see a visibly agitated Anurag Thakur was responding, pretty heated exchange on what on between the two leaders on caste census and particularly the issues that Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised. Sujit, your thoughts? I think we've had our say on this Chakravyuh aspect, at least the initial comments. What do you think of this Chakravyuh statement?
I agree to what Jash said. I agree to what Jash said is to a certain extent. Certain extent is the extent where he says that if Chidambaram had 303, well, that is if my aunt had moustache, she would be my uncle. That is not the point. The point is the point, but the point which he said, and I agree to you, is the fact that you see somewhere down the line, aggression and misuse of constitutional authority is an attitude. Okay, it is not necessarily directly linked to the power that you have, because today Bharatiya Janata Party has only got 240. So what is the justification? So that's an important factor. But that being said, yes, we have always believed that Congress started it to some extent. Bharatiya Janata Party has blown it to a complete breach of constitution. And the next party, you never know at what level they will take it to. That is something that I agree to him. That's where I said that's partly I agree, partly I don't. Now let's come to the next part of it. You see the caste census.
एक क्वेश्चन, फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता हूँ?
Please.
सर, अगर समझो फ्यूचर में चेंज ऑफ गवर्नमेंट होता है और समझो एक वीक कोएलिशन गवर्नमेंट आता है, इससे भी ज्यादा जैसे टाइप ऑफ यूपीए, तो आपको लगता है कि ये जो आप कह रहे हो जो थियरी वाइज की ये और यूज होगा, तो क्या एक कोएलिशन वीक गवर्नमेंट में भी ये उसी तरीके से यूज होगा या वो कम हो जाएगा?
मैं एक बात बोलूं जश, ये जो अपन जो बात कर रहे हैं ना, जो व्हाट वी आर करंटली टॉकिंग अबाउट, इट इज बेसिकली बेस्ड ऑन अ हाइपोथेसिस. अब जो ये कोएलिशन होगा, जो भी कोएलिशन होगा, मेरे हिसाब से अगर ये इंडिया कोएलिशन बन गया तो ये पहले से ज्यादा होगा. क्यों? क्योंकि हर एक कोएलिशन को एक ना एक इंसान से बदला लेना है. आपको क्या लगता है, अरविंद केजरीवाल अगर पावर में आ गया तो वो मोदी से जवाब नहीं पूछेगा? वो अमित शाह से जवाब नहीं
Vendetta will
पूछेगा। आपको लगता है
स्टेक होल्डर्स ज्यादा नहीं होंगे सर उसमें?
नहीं, स्टेक होल्डर ज्यादा तो क्या हुआ, अगर हम साथ में आए, अगर हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव ही है कि कॉमन एनिमी एक ही है, तो फिर हम क्यों नहीं, हम तो इससे ज्यादा यूज करेंगे। सो एनवायरमेंट पे डिपेंड होता है, एनवायरमेंट पे डिपेंड होता है। और आई ओनली होप दैट कल अगर कोई और पार्टी आए तो दे डोंट कम ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ वेंडेटा, दे करेक्ट व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, they correct what the wrong is. But if they come on the basis of vendetta or on the platform of vendetta, then जैसे राजू परुलेकर बोला करता था, Nuremberg trials is not very far. ठीक है ना? तो that is one. Now let us understand caste census. थोड़ा इसको हम थोड़ा समझते हैं। देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी या ये जो राइट विंग मूवमेंट है, राइट विंग मूवमेंट इज बेस्ड ऑन हिंदू वोट्स। Right-wing movement has been based on Hindu, Hindu support, Hindu politics. Bharatiya Janata Party has based itself on Hindu votes.
Consolidation.
Completely consolidation of Hindu votes. ठीक है ना? So what they have done is India को उन लोग ने डिवाइड किया हिंदू और माइनॉरिटीज में। जब इंडिया को हिंदू और माइनॉरिटीज में उन लोग ने डिवाइड किया, तो then what has happened is then Hindu votes, अगर if you are going to look at Hindu votes, okay, now like I said, India has been divided into two, Hindu votes and minority votes. ठीक है ना? अगर हिंदू वोट्स पे तुमने डिवाइड किया है, तो अब द ओनली वे दैट another party can come is by dividing Hindu votes. Caste division, caste गणना जो है, that is
जाति गणना,
Jati Ganana will definitely is going to divide Hindu votes. And if the Hindu votes are divided, BJP is going to lose. Because then BJP will have to now focus on Brahman vote, now focus on Kshatriya votes, now Thakur votes, so on and so forth. That Hindu part will go away. And that is why they are so nervous about it. Now, if you ask me whether that is good, so that's not good. That's definitely not good. Because any type of division, whether it is communal or whether it is caste, it is going to harm the country. But the fact is this.
मेरा एक सवाल रहेगा यहाँ पे कि चलिए जातीय जनगणना एक चीज है, लेकिन 2021 में होना था सेंसस जनगणना, वो 21 में कोविड की वजह से टल गया, 22 हो गया, 23 हो गया, 24 हो गया। ये सरकार डेटा क्यों नहीं मेंटेन कर रही है? सेंसस क्यों नहीं हो रहा है देश में?
सरकार ने डेटा मेंटेन ही कब किया है? वो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच हैज बीन अ स्टोरी राइट फ्रॉम 2018 2017। जो
जीएसटी का डेटा भी नहीं आ रहा है।
करेक्ट, एनएसएसओ जो नेशनल सर्वे का डायरेक्टर था, चेयरमैन था, सब रिजाइन किया, चेयरमैन ने रिजाइन किया। ये सी डेटा इज ट्रांसपेरेंसी इज नॉट द मोदी सरकार। मोदी सरकार इज माई वे और द हाईवे। मोदी सरकार इज मैं डिसीजन लूंगा, तुम लोग फॉलो करो। मोदी सरकार इज दिस इज आई नो इट ऑल। एक बोलते हैं ना, एक कॉन्सेप्ट है इन्फेंटिलाइजेशन। आपको मालूम है इन्फेंटिलाइजेशन का मतलब क्या होता है? इन्फेंटिलाइजेशन मतलब जब एक बच्चे को भूख लगता है तो माँ नॉर्मली क्या करते हैं, खिलौना देता है और बोलता है भी इससे खिलो तुम, तब तक मैं अभी खाना बनाती हूँ। ओके, वो बच्चे को भूख से डिस्ट्रैक्ट करके उसको और कुछ दे देता है, उसको इन्फेंटिलाइजेशन बोलते हैं। मतलब वो माँ को मालूम है कि बच्चे को डिस्ट्रैक्ट किया जा सकता है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी गवर्नमेंट 2014 से लेकर आज तक ये इन्फेंटिलाइजेशन ही कर रही है इंडिया में। जब भी कोई एक्चुअल इशू हुआ है उसको डाइवर्ट किया है, दूसरा एक इशू दिया है कि भाई तुम इससे खेलो, तब तक हम लोग ये सॉर्ट करते हैं। इधर तुम भूल जाओगे भूख के बारे में, या तुमको तब तक मैं कुछ बंदोबस्त करती हूँ। दिस इज व्हाट दिस गवर्नमेंट हैज बीन डूइंग एंड दैट इज अ फैक्ट। So that is.
I think there are two things. One of them, which is what I was just rechecking before I speak about it. One, the vendetta aspect that Sujit talked about is, I think, the best scenario which we are seeing. Best as in not the fact that it is good, but the most apt example we are seeing play out right now is in Andhra Pradesh, where Mr. Chandrababu Naidu is going full throttle. He has pressed the accelerator and he's going hammer and tongs after Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy and the YSRCP. You in fact saw Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy was in Delhi. He was protesting against the killing of his workers, and you can see that vendetta that Sujit talked about. The second thing, Sujit, which I think anyone who would like to take up which is what I just checked. Karnataka government under Siddaramaiah had ordered a caste census. It's been almost 10 years now. There was a change of guard in between, and then now you have Siddaramaiah back. That report is still not out. Somebody like a Nitish Kumar did that caste census. The report was out, and what were
ऐसा लगता है वो एनडीए से खाली कास्ट सेंसस के लिए नीतीश जी निकले.
so it's like the ramifications. The point is, if Mr. Rahul Gandhi, just to play the devil's advocate at this point, and feel free to pitch in, if Mr. Gandhi talks about having a caste census, fair, you may agree with it, disagree with it, it may have its own pros and cons. Then start with governments that you have, start with your own state governments. Then the question should actually go to Mr. Siddaramaiah that, look, your party, senior party leader, he's not the president anymore, but yes, your senior party leader is talking about putting out data from the caste census. Why not? So if there's something that you are talking about in parliament, might as well try and apply it for your own state and check that if you're so keen on having a caste census, of course, whether one supports a caste census or not, and in fact, the point that Shashank raised is absolutely valid, which is a larger point, not just related to caste census, that look, we haven't had a census, and census is extremely critical for a country of our size to know the nitty-gritties, to know the fine prints, to know and prepare your policies accordingly. That is something that the Modi government, like Sujit said, this my way highway approach, or this whataboutery that I would put it, that they are not, you ask them something, they go back to Nehru. You ask them something, they go back to Indira Gandhi, they go back to Rajiv Gandhi. So it's become so obvious now that I'm not going back to it. But yeah, what do you guys think? That then shouldn't Mr. Siddaramaiah then put out the caste census report and start from there? Who would want to go? Shashank, you want to go?
इसमें ये भी कुछ आया था कि अगर कर्नाटका का डेटा जो है वो बाहर आ जाता है तो उसमें पता चल जाएगा कि वोकालिगा कितने ताकतवर हैं, लिंगायत कितने, तो उससे भी काफ़ी उसमें भी डिस्क्रिपेंसीज थी ऐसा बताया जा रहा था. तो उसको लेके बीच में वो कुछ डेटा आउट भी हुआ था. तो जो वोकालिगा कम्युनिटी की जो स्ट्रेंथ है उस पर आज जो वर्चस्व वो कर्नाटका में रखते हैं वो कम हो जाएगा ऐसा बताया जा रहा था.
तो आई थिंक then it's isn't it almost like convenience then कि हम कास्ट सेंसस का बात करेंगे but your own state governments are not following it.
नहीं, I'll tell you the difference. The difference is the first reason why a party, especially Congress party, not only Congress party, even JDU till yesterday was asking for caste census. The first reason why caste census is asked is to ensure that you have you use it for your political benefit. Let us be very clear.
Correct.
Social benefit comes number 2. Number
Fair.
1 is political benefit.
Fair.
Okay, so that's the thing. You think Bharatiya Janata Party was actually bothered about Hindus? Are you kidding me? So why was they talking about Hindus? Because it was political benefit. Likewise, these political parties, do they actually bother about the Lingayat or the Vokaliga? No, they are bothered about their politics. So the fact remains that caste census is only relevant if it is on a national scale. Then what happens is the entire nation can be segregated into various castes. Each caste can be told that, listen, you know what, your caste is this much percentage of India. That is what makes national political strategy easier. You see, if I localize that into my state and my market and my constituency, I will not be able to use it the way it can be used if I nationalize it. A. B. What are you establishing? You are establishing that I am there to ensure that I will appease your caste. When will that be established? That will be established when this exercise happens in a national scale. So that's the focus of caste census, and that is exactly the reason why I think Congress and other parties are asking at a national level. From a strategic point of view, from a national point of view, from an administrative point of view, is also good if there's a national caste census. Why? Because then from an administrative point of view, from a budgeting point of view, from a elevation point of view, from a focus point of view, you understand how much and how long should the your relief, your investments.
It gives a better vantage point to assess
It
where
gives
you
a
are.
better vantage point to assess the
सर
situation.
पर फिर जो दूसरे स्टेट्स में जैसे हुआ है, बहुत बहुत स्टेट्स में हुआ है ये, जो रिजर्वेशन का परसेंटेज है, वो राहुल गांधी वो भी बोल रहे कि हम कैप उड़ा देंगे 50% का, हम रिजर्वेशन बढ़ाते जाएंगे, जनरल कैटेगरी वैसे भी वो बोलते हैं ना कि certain percentage for SC, certain percentage for OBCs, and जो बचा हुआ 50% reservation is for general category.
No, see, जस्ट राहुल गांधी बोलने से थोड़ी ना होता है. राहुल गांधी बोलेगा, कुछ भी बोलेगा, उससे थोड़ी ना ये चेंज होता है. देखिए ऐसा है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट है देश में. राहुल गांधी पहला आध इंसान नहीं है जो बोलता है कि मैं रिजर्वेशन बढ़ा दूंगा, वो बढ़ा दूंगा, ये बढ़ा दूंगा. ये बहुत सारे लोगों ने बोला है इंडिया में. वीपी सिंह तो गवर्नमेंट में आया था ये बोल के कि मैं रिजर्वेशन बढ़ा दूंगा. ठीक है ना. तो ये एक ओल्ड स्ट्रैटेजी है. पर ग्रेस ऑफ गॉड आज भी कोर्ट्स है, आज भी जुडिशरी है, तो वो बढ़ाना इतना आसान नहीं होगा. एक दूसरी बात, यू सी द पॉइंट इज रिजर्वेशन से प्रॉब्लम्स की हल नहीं होती, आइडेंटिफिकेशन से होती है. लेकिन कहने का मतलब ये है कि आप अगर आइडेंटिफाई करो, जो आज मुझे लगता है जो ये सबकास्ट जो
सुप्रीम कोर्ट
डिसीजन लिया था, वो एक्चुअली इट्स गोइंग टू बेनिफिट दिस कंट्री, बिकॉज द क्रीमी लेयर ऑफ SC ST will be not ST at the moment. They are only focusing on SC. So the creamy layer of SC will be identified and the relief will go to the rock bottom.
रियल जिसको सर
Real या ना real मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, but the rock bottom is what I will say. Call it rock bottom. Real ना real, we are nobody to judge. The rock bottom of the most downtrodden, the most impoverished people. That is a good thing. That's any time a good thing.
At least we'll not get more Pooja Khedkar like cases.
You will not get,
perhaps. So I think the Supreme Court verdict that Sujit referred to, it's for simple understanding, it's being called a quota within quota for SCs and STs, and the Supreme Court
और एक अच्छा ऑब्जर्वेशन है उस पे. मैं थोड़ा दोनों तरफ की मीडिया को मैं देख रहा था, वो दोनों यूनानिमसली दोनों आइडियोलॉजीज ने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से रिसीव किया. वो मतलब किसी ने ऐसा नहीं बोला कि ये किसी के अगेंस्ट है या ये गलत है. यहाँ पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट दोनों ने लेफ्ट हो या राइट, दोनों ने बहुत अच्छे से रिसीव किया कि नहीं, इट्स अ वेरी गुड डिसीजन करके.
बिल्कुल.
Shashank is waiting to come in. He's waiting for the last 2 minutes that he jumps in.
मेरा केवल इतना ही सवाल था कि 50% कैप कहाँ फॉलो हो रहा है. अभी महाराष्ट्र में भी 62% है EWS मिला के. तो वो ऐसा, वो तो वैसा है कि अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट में मामला जाता है फिर वो स्ट्राइक डाउन होगा.
देखिए EWS जो है ना, EWS को आपको थोड़ा अलग से देखना होगा. ठीक है ना. EWS is economically weaker sections. Economically weaker sections doesn't come from one particular caste creed. It comes from the rest of India. तो EWS को आप थोड़ा separately देखिए. Okay? Here हम बात कर रहे हैं कास्ट की, रिजर्वेशन ऑन कास्ट बेसिस. और जो महाराष्ट्र में है वो it is reservation on economic weaknesses basis. अब that has to be viewed separately. So don't mix that with
two, yeah.
Don't mix that with the this thing.
I think 50% it's related to the judgment that's called the Indira Sohani judgment, where the Supreme Court was very clear that the 50% cap has to be sort of maintained unless there is empirical data that suggests that the 50% ceiling needs to be breached. That is how things will remain. So, which is where Shashank talked about and Sujit clarified. One final question on Rahul Gandhi before we move on to our next topic. Jash briefly talked about spiking NDA leaders. I think last week too we briefly touched upon it, that the way Rahul Gandhi has been speaking in Parliament, it seems it's absolutely clear that the NDA or the Treasury benches are rattled. It is absolutely clear. All of us in the newsroom, we follow the Parliament on a daily basis to see what's happening, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And it's becoming evidently clear that with Rahul Gandhi at its helm, all the other India leaders, one after the other, are going all out. They are just putting the government on the back foot. So Do you agree that this was one more stage, one more box ticked of Rahul Gandhi, in simple words, just pissing off the NDA government, and with them you could see the frustration? Akanksha, you think Rahul Gandhi?
Definitely, I think definitely. Because just ढंग से Rahul Gandhi is presenting himself in the parliament, it's completely like the way he has come up with the Chakravyuh theory and the way he has entered, and उसने जैसे सारे लोगों को चक्रव्यूह में डाला है, saying कि these people are ED, ID, then again उसने tweet भी किया है कि they are planning to raid against me. And now the BJP is saying कि this is just to उसका ध्यान हटाने के लिए Wayanad में, which has happened, the landslide Wayanad.
Yeah.
So the BJP, Rajiv Chandrasekhar is saying कि Rahul is trying to distract the Wayanad case from the ED raid. So I think he is definitely irritating the BJP and the NDA by his speeches.
Jash, you wanted to say something?
मुझे ऐसा लगता है, एक टाइप का आप प्रेडिक्शन समझ लो, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ऐसी स्पीचेस सिर्फ राहुल गांधी के तरफ से नहीं, मतलब अलग अलग जो भी इंडिया अलायंस के जो लीडर्स हैं, मतलब जैसे मोदी, एक आप समझ लो एक बड़ा विशाल बरगद का पेड़ है, और एक आपको
बरगद का पेड़ क्या होता है?
लाइक
बैनियन ट्री, अच्छा,
लाइक वुड कटर, सब लोग एक एक करके, वो एक बार से नहीं होगा। एक बड़े बरगद के पेड़ को गिराने के लिए एक बार से नहीं होगा। और ये जो राहुल गांधी बोल रहे हैं कि उनको अगर ईडी रेड करती है राहुल गांधी को, तो जो सबसे बड़ा जो वो कहते हैं ना, जो पेड़ काटने वाला कुल्हाड़ी लेके, वो राहुल गांधी फिलहाल दिखाई पड़ता है पार्लियामेंट में। अगर वो अरेस्ट होता है और अगर उनको जेल में जाना पड़ता है, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो कोर ऑफ इंडिया अलायंस है वो ठंडा हो जाएगा, मतलब ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
नहीं, बट जस्ट वन क्लैरिफिकेशन, बैनियन ट्री किसको बोल रहे हैं? मोदी जी को बैनियन ट्री बोल रहे हैं? बट वो बैनियन ट्री छोटा नहीं हो गया, वो
स्टिल द बैनियन,
वो बैनियन ट्री 303 से 240 बैनियन ट्री हो गया है। नहीं, आई थिंक दैट बैनियन ट्री,
ग्लोबल वार्मिंग,
ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के चक्कर, बी दैट एज इट मे, आई वुड कॉल इक्वेट ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एंड देन से कि नहीं, वो मैंडेट 303 से बैनियन ट्री अभी 240 पे आके अटका हुआ है। Sujit, you think the spiking we keep talking about in our editorial meetings, in our discussions, that every day, whenever this guy gets up, or anybody in fact from the opposition gets up, they manage to, the government may dismiss him. I think, if I remember the term correctly, Sanjay Jha had spoken to me in one of our lives last, I think a couple of months back, and he said he had used the term Pappufication. The Pappufication that you put Rahul Gandhi through for the last 10 years, deep down, if there's one person you are actually afraid of, I wouldn't say afraid of, if one person that keeps you on your toes, it is Rahul Gandhi. Wouldn't you agree with that, Sujit?
We're talking about 2024 onwards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's this year, correct? Hang on. Let's go to 2014. From 2014 to 2024, tell me 5 speeches of Narendra Modi that you have you remember from the parliament. It is 56 inches. It is ek akela sab pe bhari. It is things like Nehru ne kya kiya, Gandhi ne kya kiya. Isn't that all that he has spoken?
Yeah.
He has spoken many things, but what you remember is he either insulting Rahul Gandhi, he either insulting Nehru, he either talking great about himself, about 56 inch, so on and so forth. You see, the fact is, Parliament has been used as a platform to create a narrative of greatness. You see, it is not used as a platform where you've presented great bills, because a bill didn't even last 3 minutes, 11 minutes. So it was not a platform that was created to create great bills. It was a platform that was created. It was a platform that was created to ensure that you build a narrative about yourself. Okay, and that is, I think, what the tradition is that is being taken forward.
Fair.
You see, what has happened is now what the India Alliance is doing. Because those days India Alliance was irrelevant or whatever. The opposition was irrelevant. Now what the opposition is doing is breaking that narrative that has been created in the parliament. And they are breaking it inside the parliament itself. Now that 56 inches chest is what is being questioned. Now that ek akela pura whatever pe
Sab pe
bhari
bhari.
is what is being questioned. Now everything that has been built in the last 14 years has been questioned, 10 years has been questioned, so that in the next 2 years that narrative is over. A new narrative is built. And that is what this parliament is being used. So the fact remains that it is a very clear strategy, like we have been discussing this before. It's a very clear strategy. It's a very clear political responsive strategy that has been used to say that you created your narrative, now I will create my narrative, which is better than your narrative. So now this was not what was expected by Narendra Modi, because we spoke about it last time. The West Indies cricket. Okay, we spoke about it. This was not expected. Narendra Modi and team is not good at it. That is why they are getting agitated. They are getting agitation is the sign of nervousness. If you are agitated, you are nervous. Because if you are not nervous, you will not be agitated. You will not take it, you will take it lightly. Look at the parliament before. There were much more scathing attacks on each other. But the parliament was fun. A lot of it was taken as joke. Yeah, but now it is not, because it is actually spiking them. And that's the difference. So, if you strategically look at it, Rahul Gandhi is doing nothing different to what any other parliamentarian or any other group, opposition group wouldn't have done. But what is happening is the irreverence that Rahul Gandhi is throwing. Why? Because a Pappu is not supposed to be throwing irreverent. You called him Pappu.
Yes.
That was irreverent of you. Now he is giving it back to you. So that Pappu is giving it back to you. And if you see any parliament session, and put a baseline, take any parliament shot, any parliament speech, and put a baseline saying, "Ab Pappu Kaun." Put a baseline, it'll fit. It'll fit. I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, 1 month ke baad wala bhi koi ek le lo aap, and you put it up and say, "Ab kaun hai Pappu?"
Brand Rahul.
Correct. See, the point is, that's the thing that Rahul Gandhi is building. Rahul Gandhi is building brilliantly. And others, I'm sure, like you said, others will also do the same. Others will also do the same. But ये बरगद वाली बात मुझे नहीं मालूम. But what? नहीं, correct है. No, I understand what he's saying. I appreciate what you're saying. What he's saying is possibly what I said, which is what they have built a narrative. That narrative is the Bargat. Says it was very strong. India, you had the Godi media talking the same. Chappis in chati and all the whatever.
Whatever, 400 par.
Yeah, all those things.
That was also said in parliament,
I'm saying, so point is, that is what these guys are cutting it. They'll cut it to size. That's the idea. Arresting Rahul Gandhi will slow down the process. But arresting Rahul Gandhi, like Shashank said yesterday, could go either ways. It could slow down the process. Chances are it could aggravate the process to a level which is unseen in the country. That also could be possible. So that's where it stands.
Shashank is exactly. He's again. बोलो.
नहीं एक पैटर्न मैं देख रहा हूँ राहुल गांधी के भाषण. मुझे एक याद है, भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के टाइम पे मैंने कन्हैया कुमार से एक सवाल पूछा था कि सॉफ्ट हिंदुत्व कहीं ना कहीं राहुल गांधी इन्वोक करने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं क्या. तब उन्होंने बहुत क्लियरली नाकार दिया था मुझे. बट ये पैटर्न मैं कंटिन्यूअसली देख रहा हूँ कि अभय मुद्रा की बात वो करते हैं, शिवा का फोटो वो दिखाते हैं, चक्रव्यूह की बात करते हैं. मैं पोस्टर भी उन्होंने, आपने देखा होगा वो गुजरात कांग्रेस के ऑफिस के बाहर वो पोस्टर लगा हुआ है. तो कहीं ना कहीं एक मैसेजिंग जा रही है कि मतलब उन्होंने अपना भगवान पकड़ लिया है. वो ऐसा नजर आता है.
भगवान से पकड़ी हुई है, मेरे को लगता है
as the cost of responding, I'm cost of interjecting and responding to that. No. ये जो है ना बहुत easy oversimplification है. Have you seen the posture that Rahul Gandhi takes in the parliament? You have seen his t-shirt. You've seen his arms. You've seen, what is he questioning? He's questioning the 56 inches. He's saying, आपका inch कि मेरा 56. अगर आपका 56 तो मेरा 506. This is what he's saying. You are trying to be Hindu all this while. Rahul Gandhi is saying, I am a bigger Hindu than you are. It's not being soft Hindu or soft Muslim and all that. What he is doing is he's saying what you can do, I can do it 10 times better. Everything that you can do, I can do it 10 times better. You're an orator, I'm trying to be 10 times better than you. You are somebody who gets the Modi clap. I'm going to be the one. Wait and watch. You will see this same parliament sitting and saying, Rahul. You just wait and watch. Take this as a prediction. Write it and take it.
I think that's what Sujit said. I agree with him that he's trying to match up.
He is not matching up.
Or
he
just
is doubling.
Saying doubling.
He's doubling.
Now,
He's doubling. Tu khel, I will double the game.
Correct.
That's what he's doing.
But the follow-up question is something I think we'll explore in some of our future episodes also as the parliament goes on, that to enter into a space, say for example Hindutva, or that I can be a bigger Hindu like Sujit pointed out. Now whether that will be productive or counterproductive, because all said and done, Hindutva is something that the BJP is known to play. That is their strong turf. But I think we'll end it at that.
Shubham. I'll tell you what. You are not saying that I am better Hindutva. What you are doing is you are diluting the concept of Hindutva. What you are saying is Hindutva is not yours. Hinduism is not yours. That is what he is saying. He is not saying I am a better Hindu than you are. He is saying, Baba, you are not the custodian of Hinduism, which is very different. Please understand. He is not saying, it's like the toothpaste war. I clean your teeth and another toothpaste comes and say, I clean your teeth better. That is me too. That's a bad strategy. He is not saying that, I will clean your teeth better. He is saying that, this cleanliness zone that you are into, you are not alone. I am there with you too. That's what he's saying. So this cleanliness zone, it doesn't belong to you alone. We are all stakeholders in that. So he's saying I'm equal stakeholder in the Hindu zone as much as you are, which is very different to saying that, I'm playing the Hindutva or I'm trying to dominate the Hindutva factor. That's what the idea
Exactly what Uddhav Thackeray is also doing. Because वो भी ये बोल रहे हैं कि एक मेरा जो हिंदुत्व है वो हाथ को काम और हृदय में राम वाला हिंदुत्व है.
Uddhav Thackeray, I tell you, Uddhav Thackeray's Hindutva, now Uddhav Thackeray's Hindutva is transforming. Uddhav Thackeray has two forms of Hindutva. His grandfather's form of Hindutva and his father's form of Hindutva. Yeah. The Prabodhankar Thackeray form of Hindutva was never Balasaheb Thackeray's form of Hindutva. There were two different forms of Hindutva. While each didn't contradict each other, but the fact remains that the Hindutva that Prabodhankar Thackeray is following is what by default or by design. That I don't know. But that's the Hindutva that Uddhav Thackeray is following, which is an inclusive Hindutva. And that is the Hindutva I think Congress is following. So actually when people who talk about, how can they come together, they've got different ideology. I think no, Congress and
Shiv
Sena doesn't have a different ideology. They are the same. The ideology is the same. Congress ideology and Shiv Sena ideology is more or less same. The Congress may stress on secularism. Shiv Sena may not stress on secularism, but the ideology is, the belief is the same. Yes, sorry.
But Sujit sir,
yes.
If Rahul Gandhi goes to jail, then what? Then the opposition will lie low?
See, no, I'll tell you what. There are two things that could happen. Okay, first is, if Rahul Gandhi goes to jail, this entire movement could erupt like nobody's business.
Like Arvind Kejriwal?
No, Arvind Kejriwal, it didn't erupt. And that's my second case.
But it did nothing. He won no seats in Delhi.
He won no seats in Delhi.
Exactly. So it didn't
zero.
Go up.
That is what I'm saying. It didn't erupt. He won 0 seats. Now the point is, somewhere down the line, if Rahul Gandhi is put behind bars, let us understand what are the things that will be advantage BJP, advantage Modi. Advantage Modi is Modi will get a breather. Today क्या है कि Modi is that bowler whose every ball is being hit for a 6. So if that batsman is injured for some time, at least Modi will get that rhythm back so that he can start bowling again.
Momentum.
Not momentum, the rhythm. He has lost. Modi has lost his rhythm. Modi and BJP has lost their rhythm. They've lost that control which they had over the parliament. It's completely lost.
They lost 63 seats also.
Now, Rahul Gandhi looks like the leader of the house, the leader of the entire house, which he is not. He's the leader of the opposition. But he looks at he guides, he decides what is discussed, how much is discussed, and how it is being discussed. It is he who is deciding. Now for Mr. Modi, this is something which is absolutely foreign. He has never has worked in such an environment. The point that I'm trying to make is, for Modi advantages, he will get a breather. Modi advantages, he can go back to his run-up and try and ball once again.
Strategic timeout.
He gets a strategic timeout. The disadvantage and the reverse for Modi would be if, supposing, after few days, few weeks, if Rahul Gandhi's arrest is forgotten and things go back to normal, you see, it's going to have a huge demotivational factor for this completely motivated India lot. You may find the old phenomena. You may find a lot of India guys jumping to BJP. It may go back to that old phenomena. This is the other side. This is what I said. There are two options. It could be one, it could be two. Chances are I would believe, though yesterday when we were discussing with Shashank, we said we should keep our options open, and I still think we should keep our options open. But the fact remains that if I would stick my neck out to say, I would say that it would be the option one, because possibly India may react to Rahul Gandhi's arrest.
I think, as far as I'm concerned, the way I look at that tweet that he put out, ED, like I said earlier, the BJP, and I would like to we could conclude on this topic collectively before we move on to the next, that Mr. Modi, the players who are on the field and who are playing the game, they would be doubly careful to go after somebody like Mr. Rahul Gandhi, especially if it's something to do with, like he said, ED and all of that, because there are two. I think it's the way of the fact that the sympathy wave could really, or just the fact that the opposition could get a momentum, like Sujit said, like nobody's business. I think they would be the BJP central agencies, BJP particularly Mr. Modi, would be wary of going down that path, because you never know what it could really snowball into. And given what they've been going through for the last 2 months, वो बोलते हैं ना, फूक के कदम रखेंगे. So I think that is something that we could wrap up. No. Okay, we'll talk some more Rahul Gandhi. We'll talk. I had another topic, but okay, we'll talk.
I don't agree to that, because I'll tell you where the problem is. The problem is that Modi and BJP is not in a situation where they can soft pedal anything. If they have to take a step now. There has to be some strategy to ensure that the opposition is contained. And that strategy is possibly putting Rahul Gandhi behind bars.
2 months after election results, after the reduced mandate, an ED raid straight away.
I will tell you, because there is Maharashtra election. There is Haryana elections. There is Bihar elections. There is Jharkhand elections. There is Delhi elections. You know what will happen if BJP loses all 5? That's end of BJP. That's end of Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi walks out. But Narendra Modi has to put up his resignation.
But on the contrary, if they say, like we've been talking about ifs and buts, if they go after him right now, the counter argument could be that it could possibly boomerang against the BJP, and you never know.
It could. But if they were cautious enough, then back to her question. Then what happened to Arvind Kejriwal? They would have not arrested Arvind Kejriwal on the eve of the election. See, Arvind Kejriwal didn't take notice, didn't respond to notices purely because he wanted to get arrested on the eve of the election, hoping that this will help him for his election. What happened?
But in Kejriwal's case, was it beyond Delhi or Punjab? The fact that he's not, if you look at stature-wise...
No. Stature-wise, chhodna. You are talking about Delhi. Delhi mein he was big.
Yeah.
So Delhi mein 7 seat mein he got 0.
Yeah.
Correct? Which means it didn't work in Delhi. End of story. See, you take the market where you are talking about. Let's talk about Delhi market as far as Kejriwal is concerned. As far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, let us talk about India market. But the fact remains that if you have to juxtapose a political relevance, then you take Delhi and juxtapose it to India. Then see what happens. If the result is similar, then Modi wins. Modi's gamble pays. What has Modi got to lose? Modi has got nothing to lose. Is Modi going to win Maharashtra? Chances are Modi will not. Is Modi going to win Haryana? Chances are Modi will not. Is Modi going to win Delhi? God knows. One doesn't know. Is Modi going to win Bihar? Chances are JDU will do better than Modi. The point is, what is Modi's options? What are Modi's options? Yes, sir.
नहीं, और झारखंड में भी जहां शिबू सोरेन का इतना नाम है, शासन कर रही है झारखंड मुक्ति मोर्चा, वहां पे भी 9 सीटें एनडीए को मिल गई और 5 सीटें, वो काफी शॉकिंग था
नहीं, but उसमें you showed me yesterday. You had put a very logical argument where you said that 5 seats जो
नहीं,
सोरेन लड़ा
इंडिया
था,
गठबंधन को टोटल 5
Correct.
सीट्स है और 9 सीटें जो है वो बीजेपी को है।
करेक्ट है, पर वो जो 5 सीट जो शिबू सोरेन वन,
नहीं,
हेमंत
पूरे
सोरेन।
इंडिया गठबंधन
हाँ, हाँ,
को,
इंडिया
how
गठबंधन।
much
कांग्रेस और
शिबू सोरेन how much he won?
हेमंत सोरेन, I think.
हेमंत सोरेन
Sorry,
की
हेमंत
पार्टी ने-
सोरेन,
हाँ,
my
उन्होंने
apologies.
3 जीती है।
Out of 5 he contested. Correct?
हाँ।
हाँ, तो 5 out of 3, 3 out of 5 he won. So he had done a fairly good job as far as Jharkhand is concerned. It is 3 out of 5. But the point that I'm trying to make is, there is a very valid chance that either this could work or this could not. मुझे लगता है, ये मेरी सोच है, मुझे लगता है कि the way BJP is poised currently, I think Modi will take a chance.
Okay. I think that's an interesting note. I think now we can move on to the second topic finally.
Please.
We've talked about Rahul Gandhi in other news. Let's look at what happened. The parliament was leaking, the new parliament with the Shengol, the whole grand this thing. You saw leakage, ek niche unhone balti rakhi thi, and you could see water, just tip after heavy rains in Delhi. There was the Wayanad landslide, which was really terrible to watch. More than 300 people have died on last count, and we at HW News would also extend our condolences and hope that this tragedy, the state of Kerala gets over this tragedy as soon as possible. But I think the next topic would be, Jash, is what happened in Delhi, particularly what happened in the Delhi High Court. So I think last week we saw 3 UPSC aspirants tragically losing their lives for really no fault of theirs. Barish hua, again, Delhi wale, the viewers from Delhi, the listeners from Delhi telling us about trains. Mumbai guys know it better than anybody about what trains are and what flooding is. We know, we come to office tackling these rains.
Alerts.
Yeah, with red alerts and the sun shining amidst red alerts. But yeah, on a serious note, amid the heavy rains in Delhi, in Rajendra Nagar, a basement, I think, of a coaching center was flooded, and
Coaching center.
yes, Rao's IAS coaching center, their basement was flooded. 3 people lost their lives. I think the matter came up in the Delhi High Court, and the Delhi High Court, minced no words. They had some really harsh things to say about the MCD, which is the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. I think, Jash, you can correct me. They said that you guys are bankrupt and all of this. पैसा नहीं है. And I think
इसमें खर्चा हो रहा है.
this is what we were coming to as the topic. That freebies में बहुत खर्चा हो रहा है, which is, I think, I would like to raise a larger question here. The Revdis is what the Prime Minister called, and the before we get into this discussion, one thing is very clear, that Revdis is not somebody's copyright. Every political party has done it in one form or the other. The Prime Minister talked about himself, his governments, and even the government at the center is giving freebies in Delhi. Yes, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, I think the whole premise besides the anti-corruption movement was the fact that we'll give free electricity and all of that. But what do you guys think? The freebies culture, is it harming? I'll come to Sujit at the very end, because he's done a complete editorial on this. He's spoken at length about the perils of having freebies in this country. But I want to know from all of you. I think, Akanksha, you can start first. Freebies, Revdi culture, some say welfare schemes hai, logo ko help karta hai, it reaches to the masses. You agree? Disagree? Should Revdis really be at the level we are seeing?
I definitely disagree with it, Shubham, because you see, जहाँ पे जरूरत है वहाँ पे छोड़ के तुम फ्रीबीज में जो पैसे खर्च कर रहे हो, उससे the people who actually need it, ये लाडली बहन के लिए, what is happening in with 1500 में क्या हो जाएगा महीने में?
Correct.
What can a person do in 1500? At least give 1 lakh in a year so that someone can start their own business or do something which is valuable to the country. Rather than giving 1500 in monthly. There's nothing happening with these freebies.
But then other, समझो free bus travel हो गया, या I give you ration for a month, rice, the grains, I give you that. I think it's it's an interesting debate. When of course you get into the technical stuff, you realize that acha nahi, this could really go either way. But what do you think, Jash? Freebies, the way, especially what the Delhi High Court said, and in the context that the Delhi High Court made these remarks, what do you think?
ये जो दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने जो बोला है वो सिर्फ मतलब वो दिल्ली सरकार को बोला है, पर वो मैसेज सभी गवर्नमेंट को है, सेंटर हो, स्टेट हो, हर एक गवर्नमेंट, हर एक स्टेट की गवर्नमेंट जो भी फ्रीबीज दे रही है और बीजेपी को कि भाई फ्रीबीज मत दो। ये बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट ने भी स्टार्ट किया था। ये बीजेपी सपोर्टर्स जो जिनसे मतलब मेरे हैं ऐसे काफी दोस्त, शुरुआत में जब केजरीवाल जब देते थे फ्रीबीज तो यही बीजेपी वाले कहते थे कि तुम क्यों फ्रीबीज दे रहे हो, ये कितना खराब है, ये है वो है। अभी बीजेपी ने भी देना स्टार्ट कर दिया, अभी कांग्रेस ने भी देना स्टार्ट कर दिया, हर एक गवर्नमेंट फ्रीबीज देना स्टार्ट कर रही है। इसमें एक सेक्टर में आप कभी मतलब आपको हेल्थ केयर में ठीक कुछ करना है, आपको कोई और एजुकेशन में कुछ ठीक करना है, आपके पास पैसा होगा ही नहीं। और यही दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट ने बोला कि आपके पास पैसा है ही नहीं कुछ करने के लिए, आप कैसे करोगे। ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये देश का सबसे बड़ा कैंसर होगा ये फ्रीबीज, अगर ये लंबे समय तक चल गया। ये कुछ भी ये पोल स्ट्रेटेजी के लिए, अलग अलग चीजों के लिए ये फ्रीबी यूज हो रहा है, ये खत्म कर देगा देश को।
फेयर,
ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ये अगर ये जो लोग सुन रहे हैं, ये फ्रीबीज को आप एक्सेप्ट मत करो।
Okay. So you're saying कि freebies is effectively कि वो beneficial नहीं है, like you shouldn't be having. Shashank, what do you think?
इसमें एक चीज है, इलेक्टोरल बेनिफिट उसका हो रहा है, इसमें मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई डाउट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि दिल्ली में 2 बार सरकार उसी की, क्योंकि आम आदमी पार्टी की पर से कोई आइडियोलॉजिकल कोई स्टांस है ये मैं नहीं समझता हूँ। तो फ्रीबीज के आधार पे ही वो सरकार चला रहे, ये एक चीज। कर्नाटका में जो काफी हद तक उनकी एंटी इनकम्पेंसी थी, लेकिन फ्रीबीज जो प्रोमिसेस थे, वो गारंटीज थी, वो काफी हद तक सफल रही, उसकी वजह से उनको बेनिफिट हुआ इलेक्टोरल। तो इलेक्टोरल बेनिफिट उसका हो रहा है उसमें बाय एंड लार्ज। एंड लेकिन मैं ये कहूँगा कि एक हाथ से लेके दूसरे हाथ से ले रहे, वैसी वाली इसमें स्थिति है, क्योंकि पेट्रोल का भाव बढ़ा दो या कहीं और उससे वो कर दो, तो जाना तो उसको मतलब कंज्यूमर के जेब से ही है, मतलब वो सरकार अपने जेब से नहीं डालेगी कभी भी। तो जो अगर कोई ब्रांड है, वो ब्रांड का प्रोडक्ट खरीद रहे हो तो उसकी एडवर्टाइजिंग का खर्चा भी आप ही को देना है। तो वो उस तरीके से मैं इसको देखता हूँ।
I think freebies, I think when it really starts to get bizarre, I would say, for the lack of a better word, when it starts to get bizarre after a point, is you are just doing it for the sake of it. I have 2 examples for this. Number 1, Karnataka. I did a video a couple of weeks back on what is happening in Karnataka for our viewers. Yes, the scams and the whole concept about freebies, like Shashank talked about. Congress 5 guarantees tha and they implemented. My problem is when you promise, when you make these promises, you need to really have a plan ना। आप पहले ही अनाउंस कर दो, which is something like मोदी गवर्नमेंट डज, वो डिसीजन अनाउंस कर देंगे, वो बोल देंगे हिस्टोरिक है, एंड देन दे विल रियलाइज दैट ओ वी रियली कैन नॉट do it the way we had imagined, and then the whole thing fizzles out. Karnataka में भी a similar thing has happened. Siddaramaiah, the chief minister of Karnataka, his economic advisor says that, look, I think he said more than 60,000 crore rupees are being spent from the state coffers to fund these freebies, these schemes of the state government. Now the problem is, and he said this in as many words, that because we are spending so much money on that, we don't have money to spend it on other schemes. So my point is कि थोड़ा fiscal responsibility और एक होता है that while you of course would want to see electoral benefits, and which is something that the Maharashtra government is now attempting to do. I doubt वो कितना होगा उनको benefit electorally, but yeah, the whole लाड़की बहन Control-C, Control-V, copy-pasted from Madhya Pradesh. And उसमें भी, हाँ, I mean, it's copy-paste as is. खाली वो नाम they've tweaked it into Marathi. And even उसमें भी question ये है that where will a state like Maharashtra get the money from to fund these schemes in the long run? अभी आपने announce कर दिया in this budget. You have 3 months to go. I think the term, I think our in-house Maharashtra expert Shashank will tell us that I think the tenure of the assembly is over, correct?
October में.
हाँ, so क्या, though I think 2 more months, you will not see anything more. ये election हो जाता है, whoever comes to power, where will you eventually fund these schemes from? अब कर्नाटका में ठीक है, हम थोड़ा पेट्रोल का प्राइस बढ़ा देंगे, we'll increase petrol prices, we'll do this. You're not really helping the case either. You are just making things worse. So to that point, I think I agree with Jash that in the long run, the haphazard planning could really make matters worse. Shashank, Shashank, I said. Akanksha, yeah, go ahead. Shashank, I'm sorry.
I was saying you were talking about Karnataka ka freebies. I remember Chikkabalapura ka BJP MP K. Sudhakar, when he won the elections, he was literally having a liquor party, freely distributing liquor to everyone in his whole constituency, which he thought that maybe 10,000 tak log aa jayenge, but the crowd got so worse, 60,000 people were there to just collect the free alcohol.
I mean, yeah.
Which was haywire.
I mean, free alcohol,
So
that
you
was,
see Karnataka.
that was, I guess it's free alcohol, and I think that justifies it in a way why people are ending up there. But yeah, I think I get the larger point that Revdi so utne scale pe nahi tha, but that was the thing ki I'll give you.
Just a single constituency.
I think Akanksha, ek cheez, let's not mix this.
Yeah.
What he did is illegal.
Yeah.
Correct.
Here we are talking about freebies which are given by government. So that
There
point,
are two.
Yeah, while that point stays out.
He was actually,
Yeah.
He was celebrating his victory and
So
all of that.
That's how.
But I think
that's an illegal act. That's,
Yeah.
according to law, there are laws
he didn't
against
even
it.
get the permission, but then
Correct.
So I think
See, you can't look at freebies from a single prism. You need to understand. You need to get into depth of freebies. What is freebies? What is we all spoke about the negatives of freebies. Now let us, and I, like you said, or like Shubham said, I had an editorial on freebies. But you need to look at first, where does this concept come from? This concept comes from a state which looks after the welfare of people. So now one thought is, if I ask you today, sitting in this room, that would you want your tax money to go to build a central vista? Or would you want that 14,000 crores to be given to the poor for food? What would your answer be?
the poor. For the food.
Correct? What are you saying? You are giving freebies, no? You are giving freebies. So the point is, it's not black and white, Jash. It is, you need to go beyond black and white. You see, what really happens is, freebies, if they are given for social upliftment, then those are debatable. You have a point there. You have a reason there. There is a point of debate there. But if freebies are given purely because you want to get votes, then that freebie changes into what you see. It completely changes into a virus, what we see currently.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you start the process from. That's where you start the point of thinking from. That's one. Number two. Now let us come to what is happening today. You see, initially, when you spoke about Arvind Kejriwal, when Arvind Kejriwal was not the politician he was, or he is, his concept of freebies was that, listen, there is so much of corruption that is happening in the country, that's happening in city. I can reduce the corruption. I can save that money. I can ensure that money is given away to people. This even Modi had said.
Yeah.
कि मैं 15 लाख हर एक अकाउंट में दूंगा.
अभी तक आया
Of
नहीं.
course, that was not a commitment. He was giving an example. So let us take that also from the right perspective. Arvind Kejriwal said that I will cut corruption and the money I save, I will give it free to people. Okay, the thought was absolutely brilliant. It was a nice thought. That is how politicians should think. Okay, but what ended up is that free electricity, that free water ended up being a poll promise. That's where it went wrong. Now, is there a concept of, is elevation of poverty important? Yes, it's important.
Yeah.
Is free ration important? Yes, it was important during the COVID times.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was nothing else you could do. So what Mr. Narendra Modi did during COVID by giving those free ration was absolutely good. But then he realized, it's helping him. It is making difference. It could get him votes. He extended that. That's where the problem happened. So again, are you trying to get me? It's not about black or white. It's about how you extend it. If a freebie is used for political gains, it is black. There is no question about it. Because then you do it not looking at the person. Why are infants not put in freebies? Why is there no freebie that says infant ko Cerelac free mein dega? Why do you not say that? Why do you not say that youth ko sports ke liye I am going to get freebies? Let all children, whichever class, creed, if they are good in sports, we will give them free training. Why are we not giving freebies? Because these does not directly translate into votes. This does not directly translate into votes. So, but if I give you 1,500 rupees cash in your hand, no, it translates into vote because वो cash है. What you do with it is your call. You can buy Cerelac for your children, or you can buy a new sari. That's your call. That translates into vote. So that's the place where this freebie culture turns from black to white, as rather from white to black. So that's the point. Of course, rest everything we have spoken about it. About, how the money is taken from you and how the money goes.
Yeah, I think this freebie debate has been looked at from the political prism, even from the economic prism, as to the toll that it takes really on. And
मैं इस पे वो बोलूँगा कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी का एक भाषण है राज्यसभा में, उसमें वो ऐसा बोल रहे हैं. उनको बहुत लोगों ने तभी क्वेश्चन किया था कि आप फ्री राशन बोलते हो और आप 80 करोड़ बोल रहे हो, 80 करोड़ लोगों को आप फ्री राशन देते हैं और आप कह रहे हो कि हमने सबसे ज्यादा पॉवर्टी में से लोगों को बाहर निकाला. तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर जब उसका आंसर दे रहे हैं, वो कह रहे कि जो पॉवर्टी में से जस्ट अपलिफ्ट हुए उनको एक बोलते हैं ना कि वो अपलिफ्टेड रहे, नहीं तो उनका इस वर्ड है कि हम उनका ध्यान रखेंगे और उनका हम अगर ध्यान नहीं रखेंगे तो वापस पॉवर्टी लाइन के नीचे चले जाएंगे.
तो फ्री राशन देंगे.
ये
वही प्राइम मिनिस्टर है जो बोला बादल थे इसलिए हम लोग ने ये बॉम्ब डाला. ये वही प्राइम मिनिस्टर है जो ये बोला कि पहले के लोगों का मतलब बोन्स बहुत पावरफुल था तो एनवायरमेंटल चेंज. तो ये लेट अस डिसरिगार्ड दैट. बिकॉज देखें, इशू ये है कि पॉवर्टी और राशन ये दोनों में कोई रिलेशन नहीं है. आपको 2 वक्त का खाना खिलाए फ्री में, उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आपका पॉवर्टी एलिविएशन हुआ है. आपका पॉवर्टी एलिविएशन तब होगा जब आपके पास रहने को एक घर होगा, जब पहनने को कपड़े होंगे और खाने को फूड होगा, वो तब जाके आपका पॉवर्टी एलिविएशन होता है. तो पॉवर्टी एलिविएशन ये एक अलग सब्जेक्ट है और फ्री राशन ये एक अलग. सो इसमें दोनों में समानता नहीं है. आप कुछ भी करो, कैसे भी जोड़ने की कोशिश करो, इसमें समानता नहीं है.
सर, मैं वो भाषण एक बार प्ले करना चाहता हूँ. उनका राज्यसभा का ही स्पीच है
अभी
आप ऑडियंस के लिए.
हाँ, fair. I think if it's audible, we'll check. Play, go ahead.
25 करोड़ लोग गरीबी से बाहर आए, तो ऐसा कुतर्क दिया जाता है कि 25 करोड़ बाहर आए तो फिर 80 करोड़ को अनाज क्यों देते हो. हम जानते हैं कोई बीमार व्यक्ति हॉस्पिटल से बाहर आ जाए ना, तो भी डॉक्टर कहता है कुछ दिन इसको ऐसे संभालिए.
Are you even serious?
It's a sad music.
ये इकोनॉमिक डिबेट है कि पॉवर्टी से एलिविएशन करे तो हॉस्पिटल से बाहर आए तो ओपी आउट पेशेंट में थोड़ा देर.
That's sad music really. But I think on that note we can end today's discussion. I think we've gone over an hour today. So Shashank, already I have not even concluded Shashank for our listeners. Shashank khada ho gaya. He is ready to just leave. He wants to get out of here. But again, thank you so much. If you guys, the ones who managed to listen to this entire podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, we read the comments that many of you had to put in last week's episode. And any feedback that you may have, any suggestions, any specific topics that you would like us to raise, do put it in the comments. And we'll try to get this podcast available on other audio platforms as well. Any feedback that you may have for any of us, for the team, please do put it in the comments box. But thank you so much for listening. This is Shubham Chohan signing off.